Hello, and welcome to the River Cruising Masterclass. I am so excited you are here with us today. I am Sydney Scallinger. I would like to say I am an expert at river cruising and love planning your trips for you. I am so excited because today we are continuing on our series that we're doing, which is exploring river cruise companies. And today we are here with Winston. I don't know if you can see him. Hold on. For those who are here who watch it, this is Winnie. We changed our location so that he could be part of it today. Anyways, I'm trying a new format. We'll see if it works. I just felt too stuffy sitting at my office, so I'm in my living room and noticing all the things I have to do there too. Anyways, today we are talking about Trafalgar River Cruises. I don't know if you've heard of them. I bet you, though, you have heard about their touring company. So Trafalgar Tours, TTC Tours, so it's the Trafalgar Tour Company, has about 16 different tour companies underneath it, but most famously is Trafalgar Cruises, and Trafalgar Tours, and they have been in business 30 to 40 years, and so they know their stuff, and they have created great partners within the industry and have some amazing trips. They're very much focused on they have their be my guest part of their trips, which is where they really go in depth and do cooking classes with a nana in Italy, and very much do those things that are unique and set up that way. And so one of the things that they've done, which I will tell you, they did something similar to this before the pandemic, and the pandemic kind of killed it off, is creating a cruise line, a river cruise company for those that aren't ready to step up to Uniworld, which is their luxury river cruise line. And so this is going to be for those maybe younger cruisers, as well as just those that don't want to step up to the Uniworld brand, which is going to be a lot more inclusive. It's also going to have a lot more of those little extra pieces that you might not want or need. And so it's going to provide you those pieces as well. So Trafalgar River Cruise Company actually just started this year. They are currently on their maiden season. And one of the things that they're doing is actually using older Uniworld ships. So ships that, as Uniworld gets new ones, they're actually transitioning them out, refurbishing them completely, making them brand new, removing all of the interior that would make it a Uniworld ship and bring it to the Trafalgar brand. But what's great is how small the ships are. So as we've kind of made as our perfect comparison is Viking River Cruises has 190 people on board, whereas Trafalgar is going to have about 150 people on board, so about 40 less people, and the pricing right now is the same, if not better, than Viking at that price point. So less people on board. They also usually have pools and things like that, which aren't going to be included on your Viking River Cruise or things of that nature, if that is something that interests you. Now, they currently only have 2 ships on the water, one doing the Rhine, one doing the Danube. They did already announce they are headed to the Seine, which is going to be the Paris itinerary next year. So they are already so excited and ready to elevate this cruising experience for you. In 2019, they tried to do this, but make it just for Gen X and millennials. But COVID happened and kind of didn't work out. It was the just for you Uniworld brand. But I'm really excited about what Trafalgar is doing, because with Trafalgar being such a heavy tour brand operator, one of the things I'll say that is a concern with newer river cruise companies is that they don't have the partnership with guides and cities that other cruise lines will have because of how long they've been in business in those areas. But because Trafalgar has the huge name behind it, as well as all those guides and things already preset and done, it makes it a great, easy addition to add a river cruise. And another great thing that you can do, which is similar to Avalon and Globus, which is its partner, its sister agency, is you can combo it and do, if you like the guided tours, or if you don't want to go off on your own and would rather have a group of people, you could do a Trafalgar River Cruise and then do a pre in Switzerland and do a full 7-day Switzerland itinerary with Trafalgar, cost saver, and things of that nature, which makes it a great like connecting point if you wanted to go to Europe for more than just a week. I will tell you right now that Trafalgar River Cruises has some great pre and post themselves, like 3 days in Prague, 4 days in Lucerne, Switzerland, things like that to really elevate themselves as well. So let's get into what you are going to get with a Trafalgar River cruise. So like all of our other river cruises, you have the base package, right? You are going to get your room on board included. You do get one excursion in each port, which is going to be your typical, city tour, just an introduction to the city. And then they're going to do one exclusive where it's like the be my guest sort of experience. And this is where they're going to offer that piece that's a little bit more specific to the Trafalgar brand and that elevated experience to make you feel like you're part of the community. So as we talked about, they have the Be My Guest experience, which is going to include, cooking classes, cultural connections, authentic moments, that community interaction. I will say one of the benefits of the line, as we have talked about before, is just the fact that they are so well established and the touring is going to be fantastic on that part. You're not going to have to worry about the entry-level tours or the tour guides not being great because they have been well vetted just because of the tour line in general and the history it brings. Another great piece of this is because because their sister ship or their sister company Uniworld has been in existence for so long as well, you also just have a well-oiled machine. You are not dealing with a company that doesn't have a set identity already. Trafalgar itself knows who it is. Uniworld knows the rivers, and so combined, they've created a great product to get people who are interested in river cruising but don't want that ultra luxury product. It is very much a premium product. You are going to have an amazing experience on board. They do have a lower limit for those people. They have the similar thing where you have to be 6 or older to be on board. It will definitely, probably just like with Uniworld in the future, have the kids programs. So you do have these pieces that makes it more accessible to get into river cruising. You do not get all of the excursions included. So you are, again, only getting that entry-level excursion. It does have 150 people on board. And it is in its maiden season. So you do have to give a little bit of grace, even though they do have these past experiences, to understand that they're still building into their clients. I would say that I personally would go this year because the ships aren't going to be full. They're going to be giving probably more than they would on other ones just because they're definitely elevating their brand and getting things up to date and where it goes. I did write a couple of notes and let me just pull them up. Yes. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure I touch on all my points as well as just the experience. This is going to be very much have set it up to be an experience to get more younger people involved. And I say younger as in like these and the 40-year-olds interested in river cruising, because I believe that river cruising is for every age. And I think it's an amazing way to travel, but you do have to have the right mindset. So they are trying to do a lot more like hiking, kind of like Avalon, and biking, definitely elevating it that way. For the ships, you will get your wine and beer at lunch and dinner, but it is not all-inclusive drinking or all the time. So it's something you have to be aware of as well. It is going to have 4 different types of rooms. And so let's go through the room types right now. You're going to have your basic window rooms. So these are called the swan level rooms, and all of the cruise ships have them. So we'll just kind of go through it. And then they have 2 levels here. So the ones that are going to be further back and the ones that are closer to the stairwell and elevator. And then you're going to have your French balcony level rooms, and then you're going to have the deluxe French balcony rooms, and then the suites. These older Uniworld ships, these Trafalgar ships, do not have any balcony rooms. And so that is something that if you are focused on, is not something that I would recommend for you. If you want a balcony room, I would lean you towards Scenic, has some great covert rates, Ama Waterways, biking, and there's a couple of others that are slipping my mind right now. But those are my top ones when it comes to actually having balcony level rooms, if that is a priority to you. Now, with their French level, because of the fact that the ships are less people on board, you are going to get a little bit of a bigger room comparatively, but they also have a couple of options on board. So they're going to have 2 dining spots versus just the one. Sorry about that. It's actually, they only have 1 dining room, and that's going to be another thing. So their breakfast and lunch is going to be buffet style, and their dinner is the sit down, which is pretty common. Viking does that. It does a mix of sit down and buffet for lunch, but it's going to be a true buffet for lunch. And these are just kind of some of the things that you're going to get on board. Now, who do I recommend for a Trafalgar River Cruise client? This is going to be someone who is definitely focused on experiencing their first river cruise. If someone has been on a Trafalgar cruise and a Trafalgar tour and absolutely loves it, I would definitely recommend this for them. It is a great way to experience river cruising, to understand its value and how nice it is to not have to pack and repack every time, because that is my biggest pet peeve. I'm not going to lie. But I am a cruiser, right? We did a podcast episode where I talked to a friend of mine who is not a cruiser and what she did and did not like about river cruising, because it is for a specific type of person. Not everyone is going to love it, and you have to be aware of those things ahead of time. For a first time river cruiser, maybe someone who wants to be a little bit more active on board, who wants to have the experience of the touring company and pull it out into that piece of it. Now, I think that Trafalgar is a great option for a lot of people. And this is where it gets into kind of what is your priority when it comes to a river cruise company, right? So, are you looking for the most affordable option? Are you looking for the best value for your money? Are you looking for a specific itinerary? Do you want a certain amount of people on board? Now, these are the kind of questions that I'll be asking you to determine which river cruise company is best for you. Also, the vibe, right? So, the vibe on board is going to be different. So, if you are someone who's looking for more upscale, focused on a foodie sort of feel, making sure that you have a butler, because there's a couple of cruise lines that everyone gets a butler. So really just figuring out those pieces. And it might be you're like, I don't want a butler, I don't need one, but I also like to have a very attentive staff and have the percentage of staff be higher than on other cruise lines. It's not going to be Trafalgar is going to be the one that I'm going to recommend for you. So if you came to me saying, "Hey, Sydney, here's who I am. I'm looking for a great way to explore Europe. I'm not a big fan of packing and repacking, but I also don't want to spend a lot of money. And I would like to have a great entry level tour into a city and have more free time to explore after that." I would probably lean you to Trafalgar if everything worked out and the dates did. Because of the fact that they are newer and only have 2 ships, the itineraries that they have as well as the dates aren't going to work for everyone. So it kind of comes down to it where I've had clients where here are the dates that they have. We try to find the best value for those dates and how we can hit the best sort of trip and figure out what works best for them. And it might not be the cruise line that they were originally thought about, but it works great for what they're doing. I don't think there are any bad river cruise companies, especially not the ones that I've mentioned here. It's just they're all a little different. And that's kind of what I've been trying to do with the series. So this cruise line is going to be a lot more fresh and inviting on that front. It's going to feel more younger. It's going to kind of feel like an Emerald or a Viking on that front. It's going to pull out some of the more. Now, we haven't done Uniworld, but Uniworld, I did have someone from Uniworld come in and talk about it. So you do understand that Uniworld has they love to decorate everything for where it's going to be. So they research the area. Like I did a Uniworld for Egypt, and the entire ship was just beautifully done and decorated and just obnoxious in how it's so colorful and gaudy and fits the design and the theme, and I loved it. And there are people who will, and they also Uniworld, and we'll talk about them coming up soon, very much focuses on these like more unique excursions because they include all excursions, right? So the ships are going to be those are the ships that they're using for this. And so they've kind of pulled out some of those more unique pieces because they originally decorate per the river. So the Danube River has a lot of the Schronberg, the palace, that sort of feel to it. And they've pulled that out and made it just more of a classic sort of clean lines and looks of that nature, which I think is great for what Trafalgar is and how it wants to run its business. And it's not like its sister ship Uniworld, and there is a distinct difference between these two lines. And so that's where I think it would be great for that type of client. If you have ever thought about going on a river cruise, if you are still overwhelmed by all of these things, I would love to set up an appointment to talk to you. I have had a bunch of you guys reach out and kind of talk about what you're looking for in a trip, how we can set it up and make it work for you. And I would love to continue to do that. It brings me a lot of great joy to help all of you guys on your next vacation. I will say that what we're going to do is I apologize in advance because I haven't been as great as I wanted to be in keeping consistent with these. So I'm going to be taking a break in the months of July and August, and I'm going to be doing some recording, and I'm going to be setting it up so that this is going to be every week for this next series that we have going on. So we are going to be going on a slight hiatus. While you guys are enjoying all of your summer plans, I am working diligently to get you guys an amazing series for the next one. We're going to have a lot of guest speakers. We're going to be elevating the Danube River. I'm super excited. I'm actually sailing the Danube River next year in April. And I would love for you to join us. It's April 11th to the 18th on Riviera. We had them talk a couple of weeks ago, but that is something that I am going to be doing. But so we highlight on the what's going on here. That's what we're doing. Now, to summarize our trip here into Trafalgar, Trafalgar is an amazing tour company who has now started river cruising. And they currently have 2 and will have, I think, 3 to 4 ships by the end of next year. They are doing the Rhine and the Danube. They have about 150 people on board and are very much focused on grabbing that younger clientele, as well as those who want to try river cruising without it being a very large price tag. And it is definitely something that I would recommend if you are looking for a premium cruise line. It is going to include 1 excursion in each port, and it is definitely something that I would recommend for you if this is one of those cruise lines that you've been looking at. And with that, I hope you have a great day.